You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention podcast. I'm Allison Boyle, aka She Dreams of Alpine, and this is the show that's dedicated to all the adventurous spirits out there who have either been transformed by the outdoors or are interested in what it looks like to step into a new, adventurous, and courageous kind of identity in their life. It doesn't matter what your background is in the outdoors, what age you're starting at, or where you grew up. If you're curious about the outdoors and using adventure as a way to reinvent yourself, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing all kinds of personal adventure stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, teaching what I know about the outdoors and leadership, and interviewing some amazing adventurous women all along the way. I've been coaching women on becoming safe, confident, and self-sufficient backpackers and leaders of their own adventurous lives since 2018, and I know exactly what big fears and self-doubts can pop up along the way. I have so much to share with you, so let's dive in. Okay, before we get started, I wanted to kick this podcast episode off with another very quick announcement. We are less than 1 week away from our final Backpacking Badass program enrollment of the year. So next week on November 18th to 21st, so that's Monday through Thursday, we are opening up enrollment to my signature coaching program, the Backpacking Badass program. This is our online course, community, and coaching program where we teach you everything that you need to know about backpacking and being safe and self-sufficient anytime that you hit the trail. And for many of our clients, this program is the difference between thinking maybe one day I'll go backpacking and them actually going on their very first of many backpacking trips. This is our very special, only happens once a year Black Friday enrollment, and it's our final enrollment of the year into this program. And we are going really big with our deals, bonuses, and giveaway prizes during that week. So if you've been wanting to start backpacking or become more self-sufficient and confident in your backpacking adventures, then our Black Friday enrollment is a very good time to join us in the Backpacking Badass program and go all in on your goals to start backpacking more confidently in 2025 and beyond. So we have a very special early bird waitlist that you're going to want to join if you are interested in that program for that enrollment event, which is if you go to shedreamsofalpine.com/bird. I will also drop that link in the show notes, but if you go to that link, you can sign up for our early bird waitlist. And the reason that you want to be an early bird for our Black Friday enrollment is because our early birds will get early access to our amazing Black Friday deals and bonuses. And some of our bonuses that we're going to be giving away during our Black Friday enrollment are limited. So for example, we have a limited bonus for what we call the Bestie bonus, which is one of our biggest bonuses we give away all year. And it is limited to the first 30 people that enroll. So if you are on the early bird waitlist, you will get a head start and early access to claiming that bonus on our very first day of enrollment on the 18th. Plus, when you join our early bird list, my team and I also created this sort of sneak peek guide of all of our bonuses and prizes for that enrollment. That way you can kind of take a peek at what we're offering during this Black Friday enrollment, and you can see what things are appealing to you most and maybe what day you would want to enroll if you're interested in enrolling. So again, you can get on the early bird list by signing up at shedreamsofalpine.com/bird. Now, let's dive into our Adventurous Reinvention podcast episode of the week. This is episode 6 of our podcast. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about how to commit to your most adventurous year yet before the New Year's even rolls around. Because I think like a lot of us, we kind of put off this decision deciding who we want to become and what goals are important to us until January. We kind of put it on the back burner. But I really like to encourage people to, if you already know that you want to do something, to kind of like make that commitment ahead of time. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this episode and what that looks like. I always am thinking about the end of the year and kind of like how the year has gone for me. Did I achieve my goals? If I didn't achieve my goals for the year, then why not? Did I have fun this year? Did I get to show up the way that I wanted to? And also, when I start thinking about this time of the year, like how can I go into the new year? And in our instance, that's 2025. How can I go into the new year learning the lessons that I need to learn to make sure that I do things differently if I need to, instead of repeating kind of the same mistakes again and again and again? So for many of the clients that we end up working with at She Dreams of Alpine, they tend to be the kind of people who are always doing things for others. They are usually putting other people's desires and dreams ahead of their own, and they put their own stuff on the back burner. And like when they're constantly doing this for other people, they're people pleasing and showing up for other people and not themselves. They end up finding themselves in this cycle of feeling overextended, overbooked, like they can't catch their breath. Their life feels too busy. And when it feels that way, when they feel like that, it feels like there's absolutely no room and no way that they could find any time to do things for themselves. So it feels like this kind of helpless, hopeless cycle of just like, I never have enough time to do things that are for me. But really, in order to feel less overextended and like you can actually catch your breath, you need to do the things that bring you joy and fill up your own cup first. Or else, like, life is just always going to feel like this never-ending hamster wheel where you never get to go after your dreams or your goals that you always wanted to go after. And year after year, it's just like this never-ending cycle because there will always be more people to please. There will always be more things to do, and that will never stop, right? So maybe you can relate to that a little bit. Maybe that's a little bit how you're feeling. And maybe when you enter 2024, like you had big plans to change that this year, but somehow now we're here in November of 2024, and that plan sort of slipped through your fingers. You didn't get to do what you wanted to do. You didn't get to try the things that you wanted to try. And it kind of feels like you're repeating that same overstressed, overextended, it's too busy all the time kind of life. And it sucks to feel that way. It sucks to be in that cycle, to feel like you're trying to do everything and simultaneously feel like you're failing at everything. But I just want to encourage you that there is some good news here. So I know personally, because I've seen this in my clients, I've done this for myself, that you can turn things around. 2025 can be different for you. If you haven't been able to find the time for yourself to do something that really fills your cup this year, like maybe like backpacking. I'm assuming you're probably listening to this podcast because you like the outdoors or you're interested in the outdoors. You are outdoorsy in some way. Maybe you're interested in backpacking. But if you haven't been able to find the time for yourself to do that thing, to do the thing that fills you up, then my encouragement is to claim that time for yourself in 2025. And it sounds simple and it sounds subtle, and we're going to talk about what the difference is, but you're never going to find the time. You have to claim the time. If you didn't have a great year this year, I want you to know that you're only one choice away from making sure that things turn out differently for you next year. And it really is as simple as making a decision. All right. You can claim for yourself, like right now, today, while you're listening to this podcast, anytime this month, you can claim for yourself that you will spend more time on your health, that you will get stronger this year, that you will spend more time outdoors, that you will become more confident and self-sufficient in your own skills, that you will stop being such a people pleaser and doing everything for everyone and neglecting yourself. You will make backpacking inevitable in 2025 if that's one of your goals, and you will learn the skills to make adventure a non-negotiable part of your life and your lifestyle. So when you claim these things for yourself, you stop making these things optional and you stop putting everyone else's needs in front of your own. And this is the only way to like get out of that overwhelmed, too busy cycle, never have time for myself kind of thing. When you claim something, when you decide that this is what you're choosing, instead of like hemming and hawing about it, being like, I don't have enough time, this is when you get to put your mind to work on finding all the ways to make it happen. So something I talk about a lot with my clients is like what we focus on, we create. A lot of times we talk about this in the context of fear. So when you're overly focused on fear and that's the only side of things that you're seeing, you're just going to like perpetuate and find all the evidence that create fearful thoughts, right? Only things that are negative about it, right? But when we put our mind to focusing on something else, then we can start to see the upside. And it's the same thing with claiming time versus finding time. If you're like always saying to yourself, I'm too busy, I don't have the time, you're going to be finding evidence for that. But when you claim and decide that this is important to you, that this is something that you want to do next year and work on, you are going to start looking for ways to create it. So what we focus on, we create. So as soon as we claim something and shift our focus to getting outside, going backpacking, doing something that is just important to you, that's when you will start making it a reality. You will begin to look for ways to make it happen. You will begin to enlist help from your family to make it happen. You will begin saying no to things that don't align with this decision, but you need to be all in and you need to be committed to it. So, for example, I have this client, her name is Renee. She did this exact same thing last year before the year even ended. So that's why I don't want you to wait. Like, I don't want you to go into the holidays thinking like, I'm going to find time later, because we're just going to enter an even busier season. You're going to feel more overwhelmed. So we need to like decide that this is important to you. And that's exactly what Renee did. So Renee joined our Backpacking Badass program during our Black Friday enrollment last year, which is similar to the enrollment that we're hosting next week. And one of the big reasons Renee invested in that program is because she wanted to claim the time to invest in herself so that she could be better for her children and her family and be an example to them, to show them that they can accomplish anything they set their minds to. And she knew that she could only show up for them in the way that she wanted to if she was showing up for herself first. And so when Renee signed up for the Backpacking Badass program, that one decision, that claiming of that decision and claiming of that time for herself, right, changed the direction of her life. She committed to getting healthier. She met a group of women inside of our program to hike and backpack with. She trained hard for her goals this summer. She got really strong. She got outdoors nearly every weekend, even with her very, very busy schedule. And this past year, Renee ended up going backpacking a lot. And she started taking her young kids on like special camping and hiking trips with her because she felt confident enough in her skills to finally do so. So she even like during all this time, so that was, she claimed this in November. She started taking action in January. She hadn't waited around to do that. She knew that this was something that was important to her. And she even joined our Adventurous reinvention experience this past summer and did one of her hardest backpacking trips to date. And she didn't just like stop being a busy mom. She was a busy mom still, very busy, had a lot of things on her plate, was juggling a lot of things. But what she did do was that she claimed that her desires and her goals were an equally important part for being there for her family. And backpacking helped her feel like she was not only taking care of herself, but taking care of her mental health in a special way. And it allowed her to feel more like herself again, which allowed her to have more time to give to her family, right? So now she's like an adventure mom, an example to her children that they can do hard things and it's important to fill their own cup even when life is busy. It first, for Renee, started with claiming that she was going to make a change. And for her, it started when she joined our Backpacking Badass program during the Black Friday enrollment week. That was a way for her to kind of like draw a line in the sand and say like, I'm committed. It's time. I'm tired of putting this on the back burner. I'm tired of putting myself last. And she went into the new year betting on herself ahead of time. And she did not wait for January 1st to decide. And that's like something I really want to encourage you to do. Whatever is on your heart, whether it's backpacking or not, like don't feel like you have to wait till January 1st rolls around to decide to be all in on it and to make a change. Renee knew that she would always be too busy if she didn't decide that this was important to her. So even if you feel like 2024 didn't go as planned and everything felt busy and it felt like it rushed by for you, I want you to know that you can decide today to do things differently moving forward. And if you see backpacking as a way to carve out more time for yourself, to learn a new skill, and to become the kind of woman who does hard things, then maybe one of the ways that you claim this for yourself is by joining us in the Backpacking Badass program next week. And if you think that you might be a good fit for this program, then I do want to tell you about 2 extra special ways that we are going all out to support you in having your most adventurous year. So something that's really important to me and my team is that you join this program and it doesn't just fall to the wayside. We want this to be something that you are able to take action on and you feel the momentum and the stoke to keep going. So for this enrollment in particular, we like to kick off the new year with celebrating you on making that claim that this is important to you and you want to go all in. So we have 2 very special bonuses that everyone will get no matter which day that you enroll on November 18th through 21st. That will support you in kind of kicking this whole thing off. So the very first thing is we rarely do live coaching accountability cohorts. I used to do them all the time when I first launched the Backpacking Badass program, but now we don't do them as frequently. But one time we do them is at the very beginning of every year. So the very first 6 weeks, not the very first 6 weeks of the new year, but like starting mid-January, because people kind of coming back from the holidays, but starting mid-January, we're going to go through 6 weeks together where we have live coaching calls and accountability. So what I usually do during this time is that my clients, they'll join during Black Friday and then they'll take the time to just really enjoy their holiday, but they just kind of know in the back of their mind that like I have made this commitment to myself and we are going to kick this off in January. So in mid-January, we will start the program together and I'll kind of give you some direction on what to focus on. And then we'll meet at the end of that week after y'all have gone through some of the materials and we will have a discussion and do some coaching on the specific module lessons that you were learning that week. And you get to meet some of the other people because it'll be like a virtual meeting. You get to ask all your questions with me as we're going through the program, and we'll do 6 weeks of that together as we go through the core material inside of the Backpacking Badass program. And in addition to that, right before we kick off that 6 weeks of live coaching and accountability, we're also doing a brand new event this January. We're calling it Your Adventure Era, and it's going to be a 5-day challenge that's going to kick off right before we have our live coaching. And that challenge is really to just get really centered and clear on exactly what you want to create and become and bring to life in 2025 when it comes to like your adventurous identity and the adventures that you're going on and all the things. We're going to be talking about your adventurous mind, like the mental grit that you want to develop. We're going to be talking about strengthening your body and what does that look like for you in 2025. We're going to talk about your adventurous community. We're going to talk about skill sets and all the different like gaps that you need to fill in the new year. We're going to be talking about your plan, like what adventures do you want to put on the calendar? It's going to be about getting really clear around those goals. And that way, when we step into working on the Backpacking Badass program, you have a really clear vision for what you're working towards inside of the Backpacking Badass program. And so that you will get a free ticket to that because that will be a paid event, and it will include our She Dreams of Alpine printable adventure calendar. And we also have some like reflection journal stuff that you can kind of look back on 2024. So with these 2 bonuses alone, we will set the stage for everything that you need to have your most adventurous, strong, and courageous year yet and step into that sort of like adventurous identity that you might be wanting to bring to life, even if you're brand new to being outdoorsy or adventurous or any of these things. So I just want you to know that my team and I are committed to your success. And so all that is left for you is to claim it for yourself. We know that you're busy right now, and we want you to go into the holidays feeling like you can relax and really enjoy this holidays, but we also want you to go into the holidays knowing that you're going to have the most amazing and adventurous year ever starting January 1st, 2025. So that's why we have created so many bonuses, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you go check out our other ones, there's even more, right? But that's why we've created so many bonuses to support you in getting massive momentum once January starts. And you can start the program earlier if you're like, you join during Black Friday and you want to start digging into the materials, you absolutely can. So many of our students, they just want to like, I just need to get through the holidays first, and we understand that. So you can put a pause on it and pick it back up in January with us as we go through kind of the live cohort accountability portion of the program. So this also goes from like my existing clients too, because I know like a lot of y'all are already Backpacking Badass clients of ours. If you joined our program and life happens and you feel like you didn't make the progress that you wanted, today is a great day to recommit and join us in January again to make big moves towards your goals. So for those of you who are interested in our Backpacking Badass program, Make sure that you're on our early bird waitlist by going to shedreamsofalpine.com/bird. Again, our enrollment opens up next week, November 18th through 21st. We will be giving you all kinds of more details about that enrollment next week, but we cannot wait to support you in your goals to start backpacking in 2025 and beyond. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to send me a DM on Instagram or shoot us an email at support@shedreamsofalpine.com. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to meeting everyone who joins us, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Hey, I wanted to thank you real quick for tuning into the show and listening all the way to the end. If you love this episode and you want deeper support in becoming a safe, confident, and self-sufficient hiker and backpacker, then head over to shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist to learn more about our Backpacking Badass coaching program, where I teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be self-reliant on the trails and stop waiting around on others for the adventure invite. So I'd love to help you more in your journey of stepping into your adventurous identity, and that program is the absolute best place for us to start working together. So again, that's shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist, and you can learn all about it there. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you get to spend some time outside this week, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new episode. Bye.